these are some options. So this is the first option that we'll use, and we're just going to lay on our back and use the majority of our arms to do the pulling off the ground. So we're going to lay flat on our back, touch my shoulders to the ground, and then pull myself to a standing position. You can use your legs as much as needed in that position, but the idea is to develop that upper body pull through our arms. So first step in learning how to climb a rope is to learn how to use your feet properly and create a little bit of friction between the rope and your feet and create what we call like a lock. Okay, so we do, there's a few different ways to do it. In here we do what's called the military style. So I'm going to create a J with the rope. So 90% of us are going to put our right foot up to the inside of the rope. Left foot comes underneath nice and close. I create a J with the rope. I basically step on my other foot, so I'm toe on toe, and then I squeeze my heels together. And what that's going to do is create a pretty decent lock with my feet. Okay? So that's step one. What I'm going to do is practice this probably 15 or 20 times from a seated position off of a box, just until I get comfortable enough to create that really good lock, and I'm pretty secure. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do after I'm pretty comfortable with that is take the box away. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up as high on the rope as I possibly can, even coming up on my tippy toes a little bit. And then I'm going to bring my knee up to my chest, or my knee up as high as I can go, and it's that same lock. So I'm going to bring my knee up, quickly create that lock, and then I'm going to stand up using my legs. Okay, so I'm going to practice that. So all I've got to be able to do is hold my body weight for about 1 or 2 seconds, just long enough to create that lock, and then I use my legs to stand up, not my arms to pull myself up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do about 2 pulls, and then we're going to come back down. So the key on this is just get your knee up as high as you can, and that's going to limit the amount of pulls that it takes to get to wherever you're going, if it's 10 feet or 15 feet. So I'm going to start the same way, come up on my tippy toes, go right knee up, make my clamp, stand up, reach up as high as I can, pull my knee up again, do a clamp, and then stand up again. Okay? So it's just a matter of supporting your body weight for maybe 1 or 2 seconds until you get that clamp. And that's why we spend a lot of time on the ground off the box developing that skill before we get up. The next thing we'll talk about is our descent and how we control our descent and come down off the rope. Okay, so after we get up, the next important thing, or the most important thing, is how do we come down without burning our hands. Okay, the last thing that we want to do is slide our hands down the rope like that. Okay, you're going to end up in a world of hurt if you do that. So what we recommend in here, when we're just beginning, is a hand over hand approach coming down. Okay, so I'm going to climb up maybe just a little bit, and then I'm going to show you kind of what we do here. So same thing on the way up. Good, so when I'm going to come down, the rope is going to stay in between my feet, and what I'm going to do is keep my legs straight and go hand over hand. As I do that, I slowly bring my feet a little bit apart. Okay, so if I bring my feet just a little bit apart, that rope will still slide between my feet, but I have really great control just going hand over hand on the way down. The further I spread my feet apart, the faster that rope is going to slide between my feet, and the faster I can come down. Okay? When we're just beginning though, we recommend a really safe approach, and that's just taking our time on the way down, going hand over hand. So after we've got a little bit of confidence and our rope climbs are getting pretty solid, what we're going to do is actually jump into the rope and jump as high as we can. Okay, that's going to limit again the amount of pulls that we have to do to get to our target, which is 15 feet in our case. I'm also going to expedite my descent a little bit, So what I actually am going to do, and you'll kind of see it, is I let go of my hands a little bit at the top, and then I'm going to quickly grab on when I get closer to the bottom. I'm not going to slide my hands on the rope. It's going to be a quick grab, and that's going to avoid me burning my hands. Okay, and this is not for a beginner. This is when you've got probably a few hundred rope climbs under your belt. But yeah, we're just going to jump up to the rope and expedite our climb down. Okay, and that's going to limit the amount of fatigue that our arms take. Okay, because we're not going to be on the rope for very, very long at all. Okay, so we're going to jump up. On the way down, you'll see I actually kind of let go of my hands and just catch in a couple places. Okay. And again, this is not for the beginner, not even remotely close for the beginner, but what it's going to do is reduce your fatigue overall. You'll be able to do a lot more rope climbs in a lot shorter time, just because you have very little time under tension on the way down. Okay? People often blast themselves out on the way down the rope, which is fine because it's safe, but this is allow you to get through a few more rope climbs in a session.